All right, let's try again. Can everybody hear me at home? Although I do like the idea of doing an episode entirely in charades. Oh, good. Kevin says we have sound. So, in that case, hello everyone, and welcome to episode 1 of the Bayside Murders Red Harvest. This is our final Titan City Chronicle of the year, and I am so excited to be sharing this with all of you. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am Alexander Thomas, and as always, I will be your humble game master. If this is your first stream with us, welcome to Titan City. Titan City is the setting of my novel series, The Titan City Chronicles, which is a golden age superhero meets urban fantasy setting where supernatural heroes are just as likely to tangle with costumed villains as they are monsters from myth. Tonight, we will be playing Mutants and Masterminds 3rd Edition, the world's greatest superhero RPG developed by the folks over at Green Ronin Publishing. Before we get started, I just wanted to give everyone a friendly reminder that Yukon registration opens this upcoming Saturday. USP GMs will be running 16 events at this convention, which is absolutely free to attend. If you ever wanted a chance to play in one of our games or alongside the rest of the community, I urge you to head over to yukon-gaming.org and register on Saturday. I have shared a list of all of our events, including their event numbers, in our private Discord, so peruse that, and I hope to see some of you at the show. We have a prime group of heroes gathered tonight. Say hello, heroes.
Hello, heroes.
Since they're new, I wanted to give them a chance to introduce themselves. If you guys can just go around the table real quick and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, starting with Catherine.
Hi, I'm Catherine, also known as Kat. This is my first stream ever, and I am going to school to be a sonography tech, which does ultrasounds and stuff. So that's me.
Hi, I am PETA. I am the sole proprietor of PETA Yoga. I am a yoga instructor, and this is also my first time on a stream.
Hi, I'm Liz. This is not my first stream appearance. You can find me on Werewolf on Monday nights, but this is my first Titan City game chronicle, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited to have all of them too. Thank you guys so much for volunteering to come on and be Amazons with me. If you want to know more about them, please head over to our social media pages or ask them on our Discord channel. Needless to say, they are all wonderful, and I can't wait for you guys to get the chance to know them. How is my audio coming in now, audience at home? Am I louder? Oh, Liz, you get to gain a rage.
Why?
Jonesy wanted to give it to you.
Oh, thanks, Josie.
Awesome. So if my audio was working better, it looks like it is, everybody at home. Without further ado, let's get started. Titan City, July 7th, 1922. Our story opens. A trio of Amazonian sisters step out of a taxi at the wrought iron gates of the Blackburn House. 3 sisters brought together by fate or luck to keep the forces of darkness at bay. They are the shield which upholds the solemn promise of the Amazons that they will guard those who cannot protect themselves and destroy evil wherever it may be. On this hot summer night, as mist rolls over the manicured grounds, they move to a meeting with the reclusive Mother Superior. The sisters pass bubbling fountains, marble columns, and darkened windows, making their way to the great temple at the far end of the complex. A building with a white colonnade concealing red brick and a massive rotunda. They step inside and make their way to the central worship space. A semi-spherical room lined with golden filigree and ancient statues of long-forgotten heroines. A sparkling pool of crystal clear water runs the length of the space, and at the far end stands Mother Superior. She is a stern woman, with rich raven hair pulled into a high bun and slate-gray eyes. She wears a calf-length dress, colored lavender with a peacock-eye brooch along her collarbone. She breathes in heavily as you enter the sanctum. Please take this moment to describe your characters, starting with PETA, and we'll show the character art that PETA herself put together for her character.
So Ritsuko, she is wearing a yellow yukata, and it is adorned with various flowers and designs. She walks in, very small steps. Um, Her brown hair is pulled back into a bun, and she is wearing a little bit of makeup, but not a whole lot. So she has red lips and a little bit of eyeshadow. She keeps her hands basically at her waist, just sort of cupped within one another, and she walks alongside her sisters silently and reverently.
Awesome. What about Catherine? And
Uh,
Catherine's character art was done by Liz.
my character's name is Amelia. She is a very like motherly type of person. She has thick brown hair and tattoos all down both arms. She carries a spear and a shield pretty much everywhere she goes. Um, she was born in the early 1800s and was taken into the Amazons not too long into her 20s after a sort of bout with an abusive husband. She just likes to think of herself as the mother of the trio, and she is very protective of them. And she sort of walks ahead of everybody a little bit just to make sure that if anything were to happen, something would happen to her first before getting to the other two.
Awesome. And Liz and Yilva.
So Ylva is a thin but thick um, kind of gal. She has raven black hair and stark blue eyes. Her pale skin is usually covered by her black leather and a cloak. Her boots come up to her knees and usually hides a blade or two. Her quiver she does keep close, if not on her, and her bow is a unique contraption given to her, and it folds into itself so it's inconspicuous. She earned the nickname Avenging Wolf because she is a Viking, so she's hundreds of years old. She was selected by Hera to be a protector of wronged women. She was taken advantage of by the men in her village, and one day she had had enough. She then was on the run, and that's when she ran into other women who had gone through similar experiences, and she took it upon herself to demand retribution. And that's when she was named the Avenging Wolf, as no one knew exactly who she was, and she only traveled and avenged during the dead of night.
Wonderful. Awesome. So yeah, you three sisters come into this great temple space, and Mother Superior steps forward, taking sort of this deep breath. She says, "I have thank you for coming tonight. It is a matter of grave importance that I darken your doorway with. One of our sisters has been murdered. A young woman named Kathleen Hooper was taken from us this very night. I have called the police and informed them that we will be investigating this matter ourselves. So I need you to head out to the crime scene and get as much information as you can so we can track down this murderer and put him to rest."
As you wish.
It will be done.
And she kind of looks at all of you guys and smiles a thin smile and says, "I know it will be." Hef has the car for you whenever you're ready.
We will be on our way. And Ritsuko will take this moment to bow deeply, paying her respects to Mother Superior, and then turn on her heels and begin to meander out.
Amelia follows her.
Same with Yova.
Awesome. You guys head back out to the main central area of the complex. You head up to the gatehouse where Hef is already waiting for you guys. You see that he has this sort of simple black car out in front with you guys. He's wearing, instead of his usual sort of loose fitting white shirt and jeans, he's got on kind of a wool coat and a little driving cap. And then you do see he has this little prosthetic arm that he's got ready to go, as he sort of smiles at all of you and opens the door for you guys to enter.
Ritzko nods curtly, and she will get into the vehicle. I don't think I'll ever get used to these things.
Well, the problem is they were invented by Philistines. You see, if we could just ride, in peace, I used to have a chariot that was much nicer than this.
Always enjoy the conversations with you.
Where am I taking you this evening?
Well, we are supposed to be meeting up with the police, no, my sisters?
That is correct.
Nasty business that. I heard about some trouble that was going on in Bayside the last couple of weeks.
What have you heard?
Just awful things. There's a murderer about cutting up young
my.
women, and it's not right.
No, it's not.
So I'm glad Mother has finally gotten you to begin looking into this.
I agree. I think that it is important that we look into this, especially because now it affects our sisterhood.
Terrible, terrible fate. And he'll pull into the front seat. Is anybody sitting up front with Hef, or is everybody loaded into the back?
I'll sit up front.
Yeah, he gets into the car. The car adjusts a little bit as his weight settles down into the driver's seat. You see, he tucks himself in. He sort of breathes quietly to himself. And you guys head off into the night. As you pass along the streets and lights of Titan City, after about 10 minutes, you reach the shoreline of Steedman's Bay. And Hef kind of chuckles to himself and pushes a couple of buttons on the dashboard. And the car launches itself into the water, morphing into a boat of some kind as it's in midair. And he says, "See, I can't make these things better." And you guys ride across the bay. A few minutes later, you find yourselves in Bayside proper. Bayside is a neighborhood of beautiful homes, some as old as Titan City itself, populated by the new middle class. Everywhere you look, you see modern designs and new technology. Each street lamp is electric instead of in the other districts where there's a lot of gas lights still. There is a car in front of every house, and the air is sort of salty and bracing. Hef stops as you approach a barricade of police cars. You see there's a dozen or so cops wandering around. The pale yellow glow of their cars' headlights sort of cuts this dark, scheme along the way. And Hef will stop and he says, "The officer who called us in, he's some guy named Bastan. If you run into him, he would be the guy to talk to."
Forgive me, will you repeat the name again? English names are still very challenging for me.
It's Bastan Roy.
Thank you. As always, you are very helpful.
Of course, ma'am. I will remain here until you're ready to depart.
Excellent. Shall we, sisters?
After you?
I'm gonna walk up to the closest police officer.
Yeah, you see there's a couple of guys who sort of lean back against the building. They're smoking. And they look over and they see you coming up with a shield and spear. And they kind of look at each other and they kind of chuckle.
Is something funny?
I think the Renaissance Festival is the other direction.
Yeah. So what happened here?
It's an active crime scene, can't you tell? He kind of gestures around to the other cops in the area.
Oh, I didn't realize there was only one type of crime. If you could tell me the details of the crime, that would be great.
Let me get my lieutenant. I don't think I'm supposed to be talking to you.
Okay.
Ritzko at this point will intervene. Excuse me. I'm looking for Bastan Roy, I believe it is. We have been called here.
Huh, that makes sense. Yeah, Bastan's here. I'll go grab him for you. And the guy kind of goes to the edge of the building. And he says, "Hey, Wolf, couple of ladies of the night here to see you."
I do not know this phrase. Do you, ladies?
Yes, it is not very daring.
It's not a compliment.
And a couple minutes go by, and you guys do see that a sort of a worn down, very tired looking detective comes your guys' direction. He's wearing sort of a long brown coat. He's got sort of salt and pepper, long shaggy hair, and he's got very unkept stubble on his face. And everything about him is very angular and very predatory from what you guys are seeing. He's got sort of arched eyebrows, and he's got burning yellow eyes as he looks in your guys' direction. And he comes up, says, "I'm sorry about them, sisters. They don't know better. I called you here." You called them here, Roy? Really? Yeah, show some respect. They're Amazons. Ah, monster cop calling monster friends. Got it.
I am not a monster. Do I appear as a monster?
I believe that term can be used in many circumstances, sir.
You're not human, are you?
Yes.
Couple of immortal demigods, right?
Demigods. That
but
means we were
human.
born of a god. No.
I'm gonna sort of like walk in front of them and I'm gonna say, "You can leave now. Please stop talking to my girls."
Yes, Your Highness. He kind of goes off with the other cop to go smoke.
I'm gonna like sarcastically bow as he walks away.
Just one arrow, please. Just one.
No.
Please don't shoot my officers.
Not right now.
I do not feel that that would be favorable for anyone.
It would be for me.
Look, I'm sorry about them. They suck. I don't know what else to say about them.
And who are you in this whole scenario?
I'm Detective Roy. He'll sort of extend a hand. You see he's got sort of thick fur that goes up his the end of his hand up his arm.
Ritzko will bow.
I'll shake his hand.
I'm with Homicide. I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. I'm the first monster police officer in Titan City.
So I take it Wolf isn't just a nickname.
No.
Okay.
For 3 nights out of the month, it's quite literal. He
So
smiles.
will you tell me what happened here, since your friends wouldn't?
It's probably better if I show you. Come down this way, and he'll start walking down the alley. We found the Vic about 2 hours ago. We've been processing the scene ever since. But I gotta warn you, ladies, it's not exactly a nice way to be found.
I promise that we've seen worse.
Probably seen worse. Unfortunately.
I believe it. And he leads you guys down around the end of the building. You can see this is a fish shop of some kind. There's a big sign on the top that says Standon's Fish Market. Sort of a 2-story building. There's a big red sort of cloth overhang that comes over the top, and there's a big neon sign that says Stanton's on it. You do see there's a few windows um, with display cases full of fish. And as you guys come around the back of the building, you see there's sort of an outdoor eating area. There's a deck, there's a couple of tables moving around, and there's a big display window that has been shattered open. And inside that shattered window, you see there is a naked young woman who is hoisted up on a couple of fish hooks. Um, just over the top of a bunch of these fish displays, and at her feet, you do see this sort of black lacquer jewelry box that's in one of the fish displays, which looks like this. It's got a couple of green and pink flowery paintings etched on, sort of flowery in the way that Bob Ross flowers are flowers.
I'll go a little bit closer to it just to see if I can see anything as I get closer.
Sure. You get a little closer, and you do notice that she has had her eyes removed. And there also appears to be a long open wound along the side of her torso.
Can we tell if that was done pre or post mortem?
Please roll an investigation check for me.
Will do.
First check of the game, guys.
Yay! 11.
11. Well, with an 11, you're able to determine. Um, it seems like it was done pre-death. It looks like the amount of blood here is indicative of that.
Okay. So quick question. Have we investigated homicides before?
You guys have to various degrees. Usually when they involve Amazons. And I mean, Yova, you're what, 1,035, so you definitely have experience with a lot of that kind of stuff.
I would know, like, if it was, what do you call it? Like bloodletting kind of thing, or if it was like a what do you call it? Oh my God, can't talk.
Like if it was a ritual or something?
Yeah, like if it was ritual or like a, not a defense wound, but like a wound.
It does. Looking at her, you don't see any defensive wounds.
Okay.
You do see there's some bruising around her wrists and around her ankles. It looks like maybe she was tied up at some point.
No, I mean the wound in her side.
Yeah, the wound in her side, it does not appear to be ritualistic in nature. It appears to be surgical in nature.
Does all the blood, like, is it on the ground or does it look like it was drained? Like, is there an absence of blood?
It does not look like it was drained. It looks like there is the appropriate amount of blood here for the wound that has been suffered.
Has anybody gone and looked at the box?
Boston looks at you guys and he says, "Well, I saw the gold blood and I figured I shouldn't mess with it." And just to clarify, I forgot to mention, it is gold flecked Amazonian blood that she has bled all over the place.
Okay.
Hef mentioned that there had been other murders. Is that true?
Yeah. I'm surprised you haven't heard about it yet. This is well, he's a serial killer. This is victim number 7.
Really? So, what are the commonalities between all 7?
Well, the commonalities are mostly the public display and missing organs.
Would it be possible for Ritzko in her studies on criminology to be able to find a motive with regards to the commonalities.
You can start building a profile.
All right, do you need me to roll?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an expertise criminology check. If that's a skill you have. Oh, it's a skill you have and you got a 30. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that. Please let the audience know what you guys roll when you roll stuff.
Okay.
Um,
I rolled a 30.
yeah. So Ritsuko, you sit down and you start thinking, immediately trying to connect dots. Without more information about the other victims, it's a little hard, but just looking at the display here and the pieces that appear to be missing, the eyes really catches you. And the jewelry box seems important. It all sort of builds together. You think this is somebody who is very angry towards women but wants to humiliate them in a public way. Um, Maybe somebody who has been wronged by a particularly young woman, um, somebody who has spent a lot of time either chasing a woman or being denied by a woman. It seems very possessive and very humiliating to you. You also think that the slash that was made, it does, I mean, it is bloody. A mess has been made, but it does look like it was done with a small surgical device, not like a hacksaw or an axe or anything like that.
Can we tell if like there were any like organs removed or anything?
You you'll have to get closer to do that.
I can do that. Do you want me to roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a treatment check for me.
I rolled an 11.
So you get up in there. You do notice the eyes are missing. You kind of open the side, the hole that's there. You start looking around in there. It's the 1920s. There's no fingerprints or DNA, so go crazy. It does look like there is an organ missing, but you're not sure which one.
Like just from looking, or like me personally, I would not know.
Just from looking, it's a little hard to tell.
Okay.
I am interested in the box. Detective, would it be all right if I opened the box?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, I would assume that you want me to cover my hands with something. Surely you don't expect me to get blood on my hands, do you?
Yeah, of course. He'll sort of reach into his pockets, rummage around a little bit, and he produces a handkerchief. He's like, "That's the best I got."
Arigato.
Tatashimashite.
Sugoi, you know a little Japanese.
Just a little.
Totemo yoi. I will put my gloves on and I will very carefully open the box.
So, to open the box. Inside, you can see what looks like the right kidney of a human being, along with a blood-stained letter. And if our producer wants to share this with everybody else, I will make sure it's up on the screen so that people at home can watch too. And if anybody wants to read the letter out loud, that works too.
Well, since I am looking at it, Wolf, today's special includes caviar over clams with a side of halibut. I hope your appetite is as legendary as your temper. Know that I have not finished my feast, and once more, what is this English word? Tharr. I have not heard of this word. Is only one thing you can do to stop me. I hope you can steel your nerves before you find my next jewel. As always, you are welcome to my scraps, whether it is a full moon or not. See you soon, Butcher.
Roy kind of lets out a heavy sigh when you read that out loud. This
Class.
guy keeps antagonizing me.
Hmm.
It
So,
was just the police in general to start with, but now it's just me.
hmm.
Do you have any idea why he would be targeting you specifically?
Are you? Is it because you're leading the case?
It could be that. If I was an optimistic man, I would think that's that, but it's probably got something to do with the fact that I'm a monster.
Tharr. What word is this? Someone, please help me.
R? Was he a pirate?
Is
No,
this significant? Then?
Oh my goodness. Um, would I know that one?
You can look at it. Tharr.
Like me personally, or just
Um, well, Yuva, looking at it, you think it may be a typo.
oh, it's typed.
Well, it's handwritten, but you think he may have written it as you think he may
He
have
has
written
spelled it?
there as Thar.
Oh,
Forgive me, my English is not entirely fluent.
no, it's misspelled and it's not technically an English word. Maybe he is uneducated.
I am curious, though. The words temper and steel are capitalized. Is this common with his letters to you?
He's usually got pretty bad grammar and he spells things. He capitalizes things he's not supposed to capitalize.
Hmm. Would it be possible for me to see these other letters? Perhaps there is a reason for it.
I can see about collecting them from the station and bringing them to the Blackburn house for you guys.
Yes, I think I would appreciate that. I do not. And moon is also capitalized as well. I do not know for sure that it is that he doesn't have a good grasp on grammar or if there's meaning behind it. But perhaps it is because I don't have a familiar grasp on written English grammar.
You're welcome to hold on to it. I'm not going to get any information out of him.
Appreciated.
Trying to read his friggin' letters for weeks.
What were the organs that were taken from the other victims?
Well, I figured you guys were going to be coming here, so I compiled some of that information too. You guys are free to. He sort of hands over an investigator's notepad. He will share this with you guys. And feel free to make this as big as you need it to be on your screen. There's been 7 victims total, counting Miss Hooper here. We had a young lady named Alma Lowry, Viola Gibson, Celia Lynch, Josephine Olson, Luella House, Anita Joyce, and then Kathleen Tonight. I put together some of their the locations they were found, the positions they were posed in, the dates they were found, and then the part that was put on display and the part that was taken.
I much appreciate the details. It is important in a case like this.
Do you have a local map?
Yeah, I've got a local map. He said, dreading the fact that he's going to have to go and start inputting all these locations on the map.
I love you.
He should have done that, and he should have done that before.
So, the displayed body part is never the same as what's taken before, so that means that maybe he's killing others as well that we just don't know.
The ones just okay, so the ones displayed, they are the victims.
Yes. So the parts that
Okay.
are put on display, all of the body parts belong to the victim. Um,
Okay.
but one of the parts is put on display, usually in a jewelry box. The
Oh, I
other
see.
parts are taken.
Okay.
Okay.
They're
I
just
was thinking he
missing,
was like
from the
bringing
scene.
them. I was very concerned.
Yeah, missing from the scene is probably the correct way to put that.
Got it.
The dates are interesting to me. Sadly, Kathleen was killed on the same day as Alma, 1 year apart.
Hmm.
It's possible we have until the 15th of August before he strikes again. But I'm not entirely sure. What do you think, my sisters?
I believe that's a reasonable timeline. I'd like to catch him well before then.
As would I.
There's no way to know for sure, so we need to work as quick as we can.
Agreed.
It looks like there are three other jewelry boxes. Do you still have those?
Yeah, we still got him in evidence lockup.
Perfect.
Was it the entire liver that was in the jewelry box?
It was. It was a bigger jewelry box than that one.
I figured as much, because I was just curious. Hmm.
Okay, well, should we go and look at the evidence from the previous crime scenes, or do we still need to look at things here?
Do we notice anything? Okay, so hanged in the window atop the display, is the glass broken or was there any, like, did they break in?
It is broken from the outside in.
Okay. Can we tell by what or just that it was jimmied?
It looks like somebody took a very large crowbar and broke it. Some kind of large bludgeoning object.
Okay. All right. So is it cobblestone or is it dirt around the building?
Cobblestone.
Okay. And Stanton's Fish Market is very, like, people are in and out all the time, right?
Yes, it's a very popular both restaurant and market.
And what time do they close and open? Or what time do they close and what time was the body found?
They close at 9 p.m. because it's the 1920s. um, the body was found a little bit after midnight.
By whom?
It was reported by a passerby in town.
Just a passerby, like.
Yeah, some guy named Cecil. He didn't give me a last name.
Okay.
Is there anything else of notice around the crime scene? I would be happy to roll investigation if you'd like.
Sure.
All right. I have rolled a 17.
17. Awesome. What kind of information are you trying to suss out?
I'm basically trying to see if there's like any footprints or any kind of like, I mean, there's a lot of blood, so it's potentially possible that, you know, we could have a shoe print or something noticeable somewhere. or even like, since the window is broken, any kind of like fabric, like maybe the perpetrator got caught on the glass kind of thing, that sort of stuff.
Sure. With a 17 investigation check, as you're sort of looking around, you do in fact catch just the smallest, just the faintest of outlines of a work shoe. Looks like some kind of loafer of some kind. Hard to tell exactly what, but the foot tread looks very. You would see it in sort of like a middle class leather shoe of some kind. There's a
Detective.
couple of footprints that come. They come sort of into the area, and you lose track of them a few blocks away,
Okay.
heading off towards the west.
Okay. Detective, did you notice these footprints?
To be honest, I haven't really looked around too much. I wanted to keep things fresh for you guys.
Appreciated.
Mother Superior was very clear in her instructions.
She is very, very clear in her instructions, and it is, duly noted that you should follow them to the T. Did I say that phrase correctly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Colloquialisms.
It's positively idiomatic.
Hi. I would like to know what size shoe this is. I would assume that your team has the ability to do that, as well as to perchance identify the type of shoe.
Yeah. Bastan goes over to one of the cars and he pulls out this sort of measurement device for shoe measuring. He comes over, he measures it out. Looks like it's a size 9. And he looks at the tread a little bit. He says, it's hard to see anything defining, but I would say it's definitely some kind of dress shoe, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Something a lawyer or a professor would wear, maybe.
Can we see any like drag marks or anything?
Possibly a doctor?
Could be a doctor. Ritsuko didn't see any drag marks when she did her sweep for footprints.
Okay.
Interesting.
You guys probably know her better than I do, though. I mean, she lived in the Blackburn house with you all.
Yes.
I can't get in there, but if you guys were to, look into her personal effects, that might provide some insight too.
I believe the phrase is, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
You're just all about the colloquialisms, aren't you?
She seems to puff up and seems very proud of herself. I've been learning. I would be very happy to assist you with this, and I'm very interested because I feel like the cuts are very precise and seem to have been done by some sort of surgical implement. So I'm curious about perhaps some surgeons or doctors that have recently, within the past year, moved here.
I can go to the department and see what I can shake up on that end.
There we go. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Most people don't want a werewolf to scratch their back.
I do believe you would get very deep. Those itches that you just can't seem to scratch.
Yeah, that's the story of my life.
What do you mean?
Oh, just always sort of been running around a little ragged around this department. Feels like I'm a token hire, so to speak.
She walks up to him and she puts her hand. How tall is he?
He is 6'4".
Okay, well, she's gonna actually put her hand sort of on the outside of his shoulder and tap him gently and basically say, "You're good at what you do. Do it well."
I appreciate you saying that.
Sisters, is there anything else?
Nope, I think it's time that we head down to the station to look at other evidence from other crime scene.
I do agree. And then at some point, we will need to find out what um, Kathleen was doing.
Yeah, I actually have to compile that stuff back at evidence. If you guys want me to put that together, I can bring it by in the morning.
Okay.
I think that would be very helpful. Well, then, we should get back to Hef. He is waiting. And so Ritsuko will begin walking back to the car. And she turns around and she'll bow deeply. Thank you very much for your help, Mr. Roy.
Yeah, he smiles and says, yeah, ladies, have a nice night.
Will do.
You see a look on his face like the guys are going to give me so much shit about this later.
When we get in the car, I look at Ritsuko and I'm like, he was definitely into you.
What do you mean? We were quite a ways apart.
Yeah.
That's not what that means. That's not what any of this means.
Well, then you must explain.
No.
Oh,
He likes you.
you think?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a little rough around the edges, but he's like an all-around nice guy.
Say the least, rough around the edges, yeah. Anyway, on our way back to the house.
I'm giving everybody a hero point.
Woohoo!
You guys made me chuckle. Awesome. Yeah, Hef, when you guys come around the corner, you do see Hef seems to be berating a couple of the police officers who came up to try to take pictures of his car. Calls them Philistine, says, stay far away from my inventions. And you guys load up and you drive on back to the Blackburn house. Sure enough, you guys get into the compound, and you're free to walk around the grounds and do whatever you wish.
Sisters, I do think that we need to figure out where Kathleen was last alive.
I agree.
Agreed.
I'm not familiar with her. Do you either of you know her well?
I don't, but I think that we should investigate her sleeping quarters, see if there's any journals, anything like that she might have left behind that hinted at where she was going.
Very good. I do think that's a good place to start.
We should probably talk to Mother Superior too, just in case she was sent on some secret something. And she might have gotten too close to something.
Very possible. Very possible.
Awesome. So where do you guys want to go first?
To the living quarters.
Awesome. So yeah, sure enough, the Titan City logo fires out and fires back in. You guys head up to her living quarters, which is a shared space that she actually shares with the Blackburn House doctor, a woman named Annika. It's a very simple space. There's just two twin beds on either side of the room. There's a writing desk in the middle. There's a couple of different, dressers and stuff for clothes storage. Looking around, you do see it looks like Kathleen hasn't been here for a couple of days. You see her bed's been made. You see there's sort of a thin layer of dust on a couple of things. But looking around, you do see she does have a journal that's sort of tucked up underneath her mattress.
I'll grab that and
I
read.
was going to say, I think one of you should read it.
Awesome. Do you want to read from the front or read from the back?
The back. Does it look like does it have dates?
It does have dates.
So the latest date. I would like to read that first.
Awesome. For the spirit in the background, who is, the Bunraku who is making our show happen, that's Journal 1, which I'm going to share now. So whoever wants to read that.
Okay, I guess I'll read it since Cecil found me. I don't know how this happened. I was supposed to be safe. I spotted him outside Dr. Hastings' class and I was making my way home. He had the same predator's smile, the one he would plaster on his mug anytime he put his hands on me. The same grin he'd flash anytime he promised to be a better man. How many times did he trick me with his prick smirk? The worst part was he didn't even tell me what he wanted. We made eye contact. I know he saw me. He waved. I'd tell someone at the house what I saw in the morning. Melora will keep me safe.
That's her most recent journal entry.
Wasn't it a Cecil that
Reported the crime?
reported it?
Yeah.
It is a Cecil that reported it.
No last name.
I don't know. Maybe he's suspicious.
Now, wait a minute, my sister. Before we get suspicious about Cecil, that seems like the obvious choice, but why would he report it if he did it?
Because I feel like if you report it, then people don't think that you did it. Because
Yeah.
why would you report it if you did it?
But there is a Dr. Hastings. What is he a doctor of? Perhaps she spent time with him. Cecil got jealous and followed.
I think
Also,
we
I
need
must
to Melora
also
as
bring,
well.
and perhaps something else to consider. The roommate is a doctor. She is female, I know, but that doesn't mean anything. No, does it?
Well, we have to find both of those people.
Well,
I
so
don't
yes,
think.
I think we need to look into Cecil, of course, not to dismiss it, but also to look into Annika, as well as who this Dr. Hastings is. Obviously, she was in a class, but the shoe print definitely suggests someone who is of higher standing, if you will. And Cecil might not necessarily be there. Just a thought. In some ways, it was helpful to be the daughter of a Yakuza leader. So then, where shall we go first?
You guys gonna check anything else in the journal?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess we should browse the journal.
yeah, that would make sense.
Is there other mention of Dr. Hastings or Cecil or Melora?
Going through it, there is a couple more mentions of a few of the people she mentioned before. And Spirit from Beyond the Grave, this is Kathleen Journal 2.
Dr. Hastings has chosen me to assist him in his research this summer. I can't believe he selected me out of so many candidates. Galvanism is the future. I know that deep down. He gave myself and Anita a brief description of what we would be doing this summer, and it is exciting. We will be working with the cadavers, preparing them for resurrection. We'll be working the doctor's private laboratory. It's also exciting.
Interesting.
They were resurrecting dead people?
Sure sounds like it.
Well, we don't know how.
Anybody have the technology skill or expertise science?
I do not, sadly.
I have technology.
You could
I
roll
have
a technology skill. History would apply too, but the DC's gonna be a little higher.
Well, I will give it a shot anyway, because why not?
Yeah.
I got a 21 for technology.
I got a 23 for history.
Only
Awesome.
12. I know nothing.
So, Ritsuko and Yilva, neither of you have heard of galvanism or whatever they're talking about. Amelia, you have heard of galvanism. It was actually very much the rage when you were coming up as a kid. Galvanism is the process of applying electricity to dead bodies with the idea of resurrecting them. or also using electricity to cure other common disorders and maladies. Um, it was very inspirational for Mary Shelley, talking about Frankenstein and the creation of the monster. So there was sort of a niche collection of scientists who were big on just shocking corpses and seeing what would happen.
I will explain that to Ritzko and Elba.
If someone is dead, I don't think I would want them alive again. My
That's
personal
probably
opinion.
best, yes.
Somewhere Morgan is offended.
Oof. Um,
And then the other entry that comes to your attention most immediately is one we haven't seen yet. Which is October 13th, 1920.
I'm finally free. Two women came to the house today answering the letter I sent to the Blackburn house. Two Amazons came to help me escape from Cecil. I'll never forget the look on his face when Amanica, Amonica
Okay.
lifted him off the ground by his throat. I thought she was going to kill him. Part of me hoped that she would. It was only the night before that Cecil said he'd kill me if I left. They moved me into the Blackburn house, and I've never felt more free. I get to meet Mother Superior tomorrow, and she's going to help me become my best self. Maybe I'll finally be able to pursue my degree. There are open doors before me where once lay only iron bars. The future is mine.
Hmm. Curiouser and curiouser.
Alex, do we know a Melora?
You do. Melora is the warden of the Blackburn House. She's the sort of the Amazon in charge, other than Mother Superior.
I want to go talk to her. As
Okay.
long as there's nothing else in the journal that's catching my attention.
Yeah. Blowing through it, you do notice she has a lot of notes about just sort of getting a general idea of who Kathleen was. You get a lot of sense that she's a scientist. She has this sort of bright, inquisitive mind. She asks a lot of questions. She has a lot of dreams of changing the world through technology instead of through magic, which attracted the attention of some, high-profile people in Titan City. You do see that she has an offer letter from Jupiter Enterprises to come work for them. It looks like it's yellowed and it's old, and she never answered it.
Mm.
You also notice that she mentions the name Anita a couple of times. Seems like Anita may be a classmate or a peer. Um, Seems like they spent a lot of time together.
I also think we need to still go see Mother Superior because she's going to know more about her.
Yeah, I want to see her and I want to see Melora. I think both of those need to be given a visit.
I think that I would like to talk to her roommate.
Awesome.
So we want to spread up.
Split the party.
Yay! We're in the same compound. It shouldn't be
Right.
too
I don't think we'll
Alex.
be fighting anyone.
Surprise!
bad.
Rocks fall.
Everybody dies.
Okay, so just so I have everything straight, Ritsuko is going to go talk to the roommate, Amonica. I should have mentioned her roommate's name was Amonica, not Annika. It's Amonica.
Sorry. Okay.
That was my bad. I said it wrong the first time.
Okay.
So Ritsuko is going to go talk to Amonica, who is the doctor of the Blackburn House. So she tends to Amazons and does all sorts of crazy surgeries all day. Amelia is going to go talk to Melora,
Yes.
and Ilva is going to go talk to Mother Superior.
Yes.
Awesome.
Before I leave, I want to check the size of the shoes that a Monica wears.
Awesome. A Monica wears a man's 12.
Okay.
Just big
Perfect.
feet.
You know what they say?
No, what do they say?
Big feet, big girl.
Big shoes,
right.
big socks. Awesome. So we will have Ritsuko go talk to a Monica first.
Okie doke.
Ritsuko, you head down to the medical building in the complex area, and you do see that usually this building is closed up pretty tight at night, but there are lights on right now, and you do see that a car has pulled up to the building.
Okay.
And the back of it is open, and you do see a Monica is there. She's this enormous, giant Amazon woman, very dark black skin, bald headed, wearing a white lab coat with a stethoscope around her neck and a couple of. She's got medical gloves on at this time, and she's got these glasses that she's wearing that loop around the back of her head. And the back of the car opens up, and you do see they are wheeling out Kathleen's body. You see that a Monica is admitting her at this time, it looks like.
I will approach, and Ritsuko will stand there again very reverently as they remove the body, and she will look to Monica and bow very deeply. Forgive my intrusion, but I am in the midst of conducting an investigation in regards to Kathleen. And I know that you're probably very busy, but I wondered if at all possible I could take a few minutes of your time.
Monica kind of looks back to the body, or looks down to the body she's got on the cart. She says, "Well, I'm supposed to be conducting the autopsy now, but I guess I could take a few minutes to chat if you want."
Yes.
Can you walk and talk?
Of course I can.
Good. She turns around and she starts taking the body down the hall of this hospital building. She takes huge strides. You think for every 4 steps that you take, she takes 1 step.
I am walking very quickly. Well, I guess I'm getting my exercise in for the day. I noticed that you are her roommate, and my condolences to you. I don't know if the two of you were close, but I can only assume that you were somewhat.
We were close. I was the one who rescued her from Man's World.
Yes.
We had a lot. We had a lot in common.
I see. You rescued her from a man named Cecil, correct?
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the shit stain.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that expression before. Forgive my English.
I don't know the Japanese translation. It's like when you're a guy, but you're really like 6,000 leeches in a flesh suit.
Oh, okay.
He's a
I shall have
parasite.
to commit that one to memory. Shit stain. Got it. Aside from that, so he was cruel to her.
Yeah, he was abusive. He was a prick.
Were they married?
They were.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were married. It was tense.
Yes, I can imagine. So you rescued her, and she was a student where?
Sacred Heart University.
Ah, and she was studying medicine?
Yeah, well, sort of. I think technically her degree was in engineering, but with a medical bent, if that makes sense. I never really made sense of what she was talking about with that galvanism stuff.
Yes, it's very different. So she seemed irritated or scared about anything lately?
I wish I could say, but I just got back yesterday.
Oh, where were you?
I was away at one of the chapter houses out west in Bon Chance. I was summoned to help with a particularly virulent case of malaria that was going through the compound.
I see. I'm sorry. Could you say it a little slower? What chapter you were at?
Bon Chance in Louisiana.
Okay. And please don't take offense, but I can certainly call upon them to verify your time there.
Yeah, Ritsuko, you can.
Again, no, I'm not. I mean, no disrespect, but it is an investigation, and everyone is kind of on the chopping block right now, so to speak. Did I use that phrase right?
Look, I've got to go in there and tear my friend open and figure it out who killed her. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Um, Dr. Hastings. Does that name sound familiar at all?
He was one of Kathleen's professors.
For what class?
Uh, Pre-med, I think.
I see. Okay. I do appreciate your time, and I'll be going now. And if there's anything that you think of, please just touch base with me, and we'll see if we can't touch base again.
Yeah, I'll have the autopsy report for you guys in the morning.
I appreciate all of your hard work. And she bows very deeply and sort of takes a few steps back and turns away. Be well.
Yeah, you too. And Monica wheels Kathleen back behind the medical examiner's room, and we pan across the Blackburn complex to join up with Amelia as she heads into Melora's office. You do see that the lights have been turned on in Melora's office. Usually she goes to bed before this, but you do see there's a couple of gas lanterns that have been lit. And you see that the door is cracked open a little bit.
We'll sort of like knock on the door frame.
Yeah, who is it?
Amelia.
Oh, Amelia, come on in. She has a female Scottish brogue, but I can't do that as an accent, so you'll have to fill that in with your imagination. Merida from Brave, imagine that.
Okay.
But not the Pixar, not the Ralph Rex the Internet version.
Are you sure? Because that was a good version.
It is a good version, but she's a little more coherent than that.
What do you mean you can't do the accent?
It just falls into Irish. There's nothing I can do about it.
Okay, I'll walk in. Is she like sitting down? Like, what is she doing?
Yeah, so you do see she is sitting down at her desk. She has a whole bunch of files out in front of her. She's kind of going through, it looks like maybe some old police reports. She's wearing, usually you're used to seeing her wear sort of the golden armor that the Amazons always wear, but she's dressed not quite in a nightgown, but not quite in awake clothes either. She's got kind of sort of this white billowing blouse on. She's got sort of loose fitting silk pants, and her red hair is in a braid that just falls just past her shoulder.
Is there a chair in front of her desk?
There is.
I'm going to ask her if I can sit down.
Of course, Amelia, yes. I understand that you and your two sisters are heading up the investigation into what happened to Kathleen.
We are. What are you looking into right now?
More of that. I'm seeing if I can figure out. Well, I heard about her professor, and I dug up a couple of old police reports about him. And she kind of turns them around to you and shoves them forward on the desk. Turns out Dr. Hastings has a reputation for grave robbing and body part stealing and cadaver stealing.
That sort of fits in with what I've found out about him.
Yeah, those Galvanists are they're kind of nuts.
Yeah. Have you learned anything else about him?
Just that he only came to Titan City Well, about 2 years ago.
Hmm.
He um, he took a job at the university last year.
Interesting. Have Well, I'm assuming that you haven't been able to track down where he was before then.
I'm looking into it, but I haven't been able to find out much.
Hmm. Have Did you know about what they were doing before she died with the galvanism thing?
I knew that she took a position as a research assistant over the summer, um, but it was at the university, so I didn't look into it. I figured they probably weren't in graveyards stealing body parts.
It's a fair assumption. Do you know anything about her ex-husband?
Uh, she wrote a letter to us about him. That was the reason she was selected to come live at the house. He was abusive. She mentioned in one of her letters that there was some frustration with her inability to provide a child. There was a lot of hostility about that, as far as I can tell.
Okay. Um, One more question. Do you know anyone named Anita?
Uh, Anita. Um, I don't think I know any Amazons by that name, but I think Anita was the other research assistant that was selected for Dr. Hastings' project. Anita, what was her last name? Anita Joyce.
Anita Joyce. Okay. You haven't seen anything about her in your Dr. Hastings research, have you?
Just that she was selected for the position, same as Kathleen was.
Okay. Is there anything else that you found out that you would like to tell me?
I'm still looking into it, but that's the relevant information I think for your investigation.
Okay, please reach out to me if you find anything else.
Yeah, of course. We're all in this together, right?
Yes, we are. And I'll leave.
Awesome. We join Yilva, which is the best character name ever. Just the way it sounds.
Just kidding.
So Ilva, you are on your way over to the temple to see Mother Superior. As you enter the structure, you do see that she has lit a few candles, and she's also removed that sort of calf length lavender dress she was wearing, and she's just sort of laying in the pool, naked at this point.
I wish I could relax like you.
Not relaxing, my child. I am taking in the information from the universe.
Speaking of information, after investigating downtown with your Detective Wolf, um, we
What do
went
you think
back
of
to.
Detective Wolf?
I, I can't put my finger on it. There's something. There's just something about him. I'm not sure yet.
Something awry?
Yes, but I'm not sure it has anything to do with this.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know, but it's definitely keeping my eyes and ears open. So, Kathleen kind of came from a difficult situation there, huh?
Don't we all?
Well, yes. I mean, mine was simple enough, but
They're never simple, Yuva. And she sort of stands up and she walks over to you and puts a hand on your shoulder. Even I was the subject of an abusive, neglectful husband.
it's simple in the fact that men are evil. It's just a fact. But anyway, she was studying something, and um, her professor had her doing things with cadavers. Now, I know that's different than animal cadavers. I'm just not sure if you knew about that.
Well, I suspected that being a medical student, she would be working with dead bodies. Um, what do you mean by she was doing something with them?
Mentioned reanimation. And we all know that the dead should stay dead.
That they should. Be a shame if my brother-in-law found out that the dead didn't have to stay that way.
Yes. As one example.
I haven't heard of them being successful. But if they are working on resurrection and somebody ran out of cadavers, that could be motivation for, well, it could be motivation for a great many evil things.
Well, yes, but I'm just wondering what that would have to do with killing Kathleen. Okay.
I'm not sure. Could be that Dr. Hastings ran out of cadavers and needed somebody to experiment upon.
I don't think it would be that way. Why would he put it on display? There's nothing as far as new surgery techniques or anything like that. I don't think he would display his work like that anyway. She is not the only one. I believe you know that.
Yeah, I believe I heard many of our non-Amazonian sisters have fallen to this man's knife.
Yes, 7. Okay.
She looks at you and she says, I believe that you will find out whoever is responsible for this.
Oh, for sure.
Dr. Hastings seems like he has some part to play in this, but I don't know if he is the murderer.
I know he has a lot of information that could be useful. Do you know where we can find him?
I believe he has an office at Sacred Heart University.
Perfect. I will gather with my sisters and we will head there. If there's any other pertinent information you should hear around, please let me know.
Of course.
And she'll bow and say, have fun with your bath.
She'll go back into the pool. And the sisters reconvene.
I will share with you all of my information.
Ditto.
Woohoo!
Yay! Awesome.
Well, it does sound like Dr. Hastings would be a definite lead. Also, Anita is an interest, a person of interest.
Anita
Okay.
Joyce, I figured out, is actually one of the victims. She was the victim killed before Kathleen.
Really?
Hmm?
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's 2 of Dr. Hastings' lab assistants that were murdered.
Yes, and let us not talk to Anita then.
Well, that being said, Cecil doesn't seem as high on the list. He's still there. But I want to talk to Hastings.
Definitely.
Agreed.
I mean, ideally with galvanism, we could talk to Kathleen and Anita, but I don't think that's going to happen for us.
Let's not play with forces we're not exactly,
Prepared.
It took all an hour and a half before Bring Back the Victims came up as an investigative technique. To be
And
fair, that is something that could happen in this universe. So if you guys want to find a way to do so,
nope,
I am more than happy to go the zombie apocalypse route.
I don't need the gods coming down and cursing me for playing gods.
So perhaps the next thing would be to find out if any of these other women have a connection to Hastings.
Yes.
Agreed.
So we're waiting to hear back on the autopsy, which Monica is performing currently. She should have those results for us in the morning. I guess Hastings is at the University of Sacred Heart.
Yes.
Alex, what time is it now? Like in game?
It's a little bit after 1:00, or no, it's probably it's late. It's later than that.
So-
it is around 3:00.
AM?
Yes.
What time would the university be open?
It is summertime, so a lot of the regular classes are not currently in session, but you do know that summer classes usually start around 10:00 in the morning and let out around 2 or 3:00 in the afternoon.
Well, so going on that, knowing that he's working on like cadavers and stuff, that's not maybe something that he would work on during the day. So maybe he's there now.
But would he be doing it on the university's campus is the question.
Well, yeah, there are no security cameras or anything.
Yeah.
But there's
Future
people
me
that could
says.
just randomly walk in.
At 3:00 in the morning.
Well, it's up to you guys. We can either wait to go in the morning, or we can go now, or we can do both.
I say do both, just in case. If he's not there, he's not there. If he is, then we surprise him.
None of you sleep, do you?
No. There is so much evil in the world.
I've seen a lot of it, and I've still managed to be able to keep the nightmares at bay. Fine.
I'll have to talk to you
Just
about.
know that I get cranky when I don't sleep.
I mean, you can stay here and sleep.
But then I might miss out on pertinent information.
It's true.
No.
You can get cranky. I'm sure the bad guy will love that.
All right, ladies, let's go. Let's see if Hef is available.
I don't think Hef sleeps either, does he?
He does not.
Perfect.
It's not a requirement for him.
You know, being Hef.
Awesome. So you guys go get Hef, and you guys head on off to Sacred Heart University. And I think that is the perfect spot to take our 5-minute break real quick.
Cool.
So thank you everybody who's been sticking out with us. Please feel free to share your suspicions down in the chat. We'd be happy to. I won't confirm or deny, but the Amazons may confirm or deny.
We can figure it out together.
Yeah, it'll be great. But we will be back in 5 minutes. Oh. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out while we were taking our break. And thank you for tuning in tonight as we begin unraveling the mystery of who exactly the Butcher of Bayside is. Um, and I will be doing newspapers for this storyline as well. I did them for The Lost and the Forgotten, and then I sort of fell off because we sort of got out of city shenanigans. I mean, we had the Parker's kids who were doing their own Scooby Gang stuff and not really showing up in the media. But I think this is going to have a lot to do with the butcher's relationship with the paper and the Amazon's relationship with finding him. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Um, I hope everybody out there is having fun. I hope the Amazons themselves are having a good time.
For sure.
And you guys are getting ready to head on off to Sacred Heart University in the middle of the night to look for Dr. Richard Hastings' office.
Not my choice.
Yeah. Insomnia.
So much insomnia.
How do you think I can maintain this level of beauty? It's called sleep.
Thank you for the moral support, Robnix.
Sleep is for the weak. I'm just kidding.
Let's just do the whole story tonight. Let's just have a whole rager.
Oh yeah. Except I'm
Uh,
pretty sure that most of us work tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
No big.
The Amazons can do it and Hef can do it. I can do it. Awesome. So you guys load back up into the Hefmobile and you guys go rocking down off to Sacred Heart University, which is in Kensington, which is the academic center of Titan City. There's a lot of there are a lot of universities over here. Sacred Heart University is here. Titan City University is over here. This is sort of the college part of town. A lot of dorm housing, a lot of group housing, apartments, all that sort of fun stuff. This particular evening, it is kind of quiet as you guys make your way to Sacred Heart University. Oh, that's Ange. Hi, Ange. I'm so excited you're here.
Is Sacred Heart a religious, or is it specifically like just doctor and nurse kind of thing?
It is an Ivy League institution. It's very, very expensive, very highbrow, very waspy New England, Harvard, Yale type of school.
So it's all kinds of stuff. It's not just.
All kinds
Okay.
of stuff. Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, like, there's law school and there's, like, places for,
Yeah. There's a Sacred Heart Law. There's Sacred Heart Medical. There's Sacred Heart Business, Architecture, all sorts of fun stuff. It's not a very good music school though. And the campus itself is sort of this wide sprawl of brownstone buildings overrun with ivy, great green space in between where a lot of people can roam and move about freely, all sorts of fun stuff. You guys do find yourself over to the medical hospital, the medical hospital / university, and sort of let yourselves in. In the middle of the night, the door is unlocked. There's a guard sitting out, sitting at the desk in the front. He sits up when you guys come in. Can I help you all find something?
Does Dr. Hastings have an office here?
Well, yes, ma'am, he does. Can I ask what this pertains to?
We are friends of his lab assistant, and she told us to just swing on by when we could.
Well, Dr. Hastings isn't here right now.
Oh.
We're grabbing something for her. We don't need to see him. She just said it was in his office. Wasn't sure if we had the right building or not.
Oh well, yeah, yes, ma'am. You are definitely in the right building, but I can't just let you walk up into Dr. Hastings' office.
Of course not. No, of course not. Ritzko is going to start chatting up with the security guard and is going to kind of like take her hand behind her and sort of wave her sisters on. So, how long have you been here? How don't think I've seen you before.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Persuade that guard.
That is a 20.
Men are
So-
very easy to persuade.
Look, I know that. So yeah, you start chatting him up, and he gets all big and buff, sort of full of himself. He looks around. He's like, "Yeah, I have been a guard here at Sacred Heart University for about 2 years now."
Oh, you have the most adorable accent I've ever heard. I've only been here for a short time.
Well, yes, ma'am. I have been, I've been around these. I'm from a Bon Chance. I've been, I've only been here for a couple of years. Before this, I was actually a security guard, if you can believe it, at the old Walker Plantation.
Oh. Oh, now what is this Walker Plantation? You must forgive me. I am from Japan, so I don't know a whole lot in the way of geography here. Is that the right word?
Well, yes, ma'am. I believe geometry is the correct word. Yes.
Oh,
And just I'm the Walker Plantation is like this. It's like this prestigious building out there in the bayou. I don't know if you have bayous where you come from.
we
But,
have rice paddies.
That's like a bayou, but with like rice, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got you. But my job was to keep a track of the particulars of the plantation at night, just to make sure that there was no hoodlums coming about to mess up the beautiful institution of the plantation home itself.
And that is why you are so strong. You have fended off the infiltrators.
Yes, ma'am. I saw one of them Westmore Productions videos that had the Orient and the ninjas, and I have fought ninjas before in the swamp.
You.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, swamp ninjas ain't nothing to mess with. I do declare.
So Risco is just like praying to God that the other two have managed to sneak past this man because she wants to go to bed really, really bad.
Please give me stealth checks, Amelia and Yuva.
Swamp ninja.
Hold on.
Holy crap.
Nice.
29.
And 27.
29 and 27. You guys could have just snuck by him and just made it so I didn't have to go on like that.
Oh, but it was so fun.
Yeah.
Just not for Ritzko.
Awesome. So Amelia and Yuva, you guys do manage to sneak away while Ritsuko is getting her ear chewed off by this big southern gentleman. What would you guys like to do? You do sort of pass into this interior hallway. You see there's a bunch of doorways off to the right and left. It looks like there's a whole bunch of just long corridors, and it seems very maze-like in there.
Is there a directory?
There is a directory,
Thank God.
like any good hospital.
Does anything say Hastings on it?
It does. You do see that Hastings has an office just above operating theater 1. Looking at it, you do see it looks like that operating theater is connected to his office. And it looks like there's a couple of classrooms next to that office as well. It seems like he has his own little pocket of the university.
Okay. So I think we should start with his office and then explore the other rooms if he's not in there.
Sounds good.
I'd help you guys, but I'm otherwise indisposed.
You're doing a great job.
Taking one for the team.
We'll be quick.
Just imagine you will like, we could just shoot him.
No.
Be fine. So you guys go sneaking your way through Sacred Heart University. You're heading first to his office.
Yeah.
Awesome. With a 29 and a 27 stealth, you guys don't have any trouble at all. You do pass a couple of other guards who are making the rounds, but you're easily able to evade their sight. And you do. Are you heading up to the second floor to go to his office, or are you going to head in through the operating theater to go up to his office that way?
I think we'll just go to the second floor.
Okay. Cool. So you guys head up to the second floor. You head down the hallway, and you do find a door that is marked Hastings. It's got frosted glass and sort of brass gold letters up against the window. It's right there.
Does it look like there's a light on?
There is no light on, and the door is locked.
Do you know how to lockpick?
I'm sure I do. I'm sure I do.
That would be a sleight of hand check.
That's what I thought. I got a 24.
Awesome. With the 24, you start going in there, fiddling with the lock. You pick it, and it does open for you.
Okay.
Cool.
It swings open into this it's a very large office for a professor, from what you can tell. There's a big sort of double-sized desk in the front that's carved out of this one piece of ancient petrified wood. There's a couple of big bookshelves behind him that are lined with all sorts of treatises that seem to be from the 1800s or even earlier about galvanism and a bunch of different medical journals, anatomy books. He's got a skeleton in the corner of the office that has half skeleton and the other half is sort of anatomically correct. There's musculature, there's skin. It looks like it peels off as he needs it when he's examining. And you do see on his desk there is looks like a pickled baby.
Like a real baby or like a pig
Looks like
baby?
a real baby.
Like a fetus?
Hard to say. It's pretty big for a fetus. You think it could pass for a fetus, but it would be a very large fetus.
This is not amusing.
Sorry, I actually am not even there, so I can't ask these.
I would ask it.
It's an important clarification question.
I was gonna ask it too, so like you're good.
And you do see there is another door in this office that opens directly into the operating theater.
Does he have drawers in his desk?
He does, and they are locked as well.
Can I jimmy those open?
You sure can. You can try. I should say you can try.
Let's do 24 again.
Yeah. Turns out he bought the lock at the same hardware store, so you were able to
I'm sure he did.
open it up. Sure enough, the drawers do open. He's got the desk itself has a couple of cascading drawers, but you're able to open the two largest ones on the bottom and sort of rifle through the middle drawers and make your way through the desk in its entirety. Not a lot of interesting information here. You do see there's a lot of papers he's working on grading. There's a couple of essays from various students. You do see he has an attendance roster.
Any like calendar of appointments or like notebooks or anything like that?
Yeah, he does have he does have a calendar that's full of appointments, sort of in one of the other drawers. You open that up, you cycle through it. Looks like tonight he has his schedule blocked off. It doesn't say what for, but it does say I need to be off tonight. You see he has a class that he has to teach tomorrow about galvanism, the basics of galvanism. You see later on tomorrow afternoon he has a demonstration for the university higher ups to make sure that the grants that are granting him are paying off on something. You do see he has an attendance roster for his summer class right now, which doesn't have a whole lot of students. You do see that it has Kathleen marked as his research assistant and his teaching assistant for this class. You do see that he did have Anita's name marked down as well, but he's crossed that name out. And then there's a few other names on the list. Mostly women, strangely enough, but there are a couple of guys, and there's one guy whose name sticks out to you. His name is Uh, Ryonosuke.
Ryanosuke.
Ryonosuke. Sorry. I'm going to spell it down there in the chat for everybody.
Yonosuke.
Look, all right, the Swamp Ninjas never told me their names before I was forced to dispatch them.
Okay, cool. Is there anyone else on the roster whose names like cross with the murder list or anything like that?
It looks like Anita's name is the only one in this current class and Kathleen's, I suppose, are the only ones that match with this class's roster.
Any last names that would match? Like not just the first names?
Not on this particular attendance sheet.
Okay.
Are there other attendance sheets?
Go poking through and see what you can find with an investigation check.
All right. So while she's investigating that, I'm going to try to investigate like the if he has anything specific like on the spleen and heart, the liver and right arm, lungs and head, all the displayed parts or the taken parts that he had listed.
And on my investigation check, I got an 18.
Awesome. Ilva, I'm going to give you a hero point for thinking outside the box like that.
I don't know. I think
Awesome.
Risco deserves a hero point for listening to Swamp Ninja.
Yep, definitely. I got a 23 on my investigation check.
Awesome. So Amelia, with your 18, you do find last year's attendance charts. It looks like he's very thorough with his notes. Going through, you do see that there are 2 other victims in his classes.
Were they the lab assistants?
They were not lab assistants at this time. They were just regular students.
But 2 other students were killed.
Yes, you do see that Josephine Olsen was killed. And you see that Viola Gibson was also killed.
Okay.
Was that just last year's? Or like all
last
the previously?
semester, I think.
Oh, okay. Just last semester?
Probably would have been 2 semesters ago.
Okay.
Josephine was in March, which would have been last semester, and then Viola was in August of last year, which I think would have been the semester before that. So 1 victim per semester for the last 3 semesters.
Cool.
I hate that we're going to have a Swamp Ninja t-shirt now.
I'm here for that.
I love it.
The chat's going off.
I love that.
I know what I'm being for Halloween now.
Eva, with your 23 investigation, as you're looking through, you do see that he does have, with the 23 investigation, as you're going through the drawers, you do find there's a notebook in there that has, that seems to be tied up. You open it up, you go in there, and there is a sketch of a woman. And you see that this woman appears to be constructed of multiple body parts. You see the stitch work on the sketch. You do see, looks like there is a Y-shaped sketch for an autopsy check. It's just sort of going through. A little hard, it doesn't really, as you're going through, you don't find like an ingredient list per se, but you do see that this looks like plans to create possibly the perfect woman in Hastings' mind.
Don't like that.
Definitely not. Ugh, okay.
Yeah, that's gross. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah. So next door.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's open the next horror. Okay.
Opening the operating theater door, you do see it opens up to this amphitheater with a number of concentric rows of chairs that sort of go down into the center, where you see there's a large slab for dissection or for surgery, examination, all sorts of fun stuff. Um, you do see it looks like there are fresh ties that have been attached to the slab down here. Um, Either it looks like some kind of leather or nylon, maybe as you're sort of looking at it from up here. Um, they've been drilled to the table itself, which you think is odd for what is presumably a man who deals with dead bodies all the time.
You're talking about like restraints?
Yeah, restraints have been added to the table.
Hmm.
I was going to say fun is subjective there. Fantabulous.
Is there any like, I don't know, like waste buckets or anything like that? Like, you know how like not radioactive waste, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bodily
Yeah, like
fluids
the
and stuff.
gauze
Yeah,
or the gauze and the needles
Yeah.
and
like that.
Looking, you do see there is a table of medical supplies, either surgery supplies like scalpels and forceps and stuff. There's also gauze and buckets. And you do see built into the floor are actually these grates, almost like sewer grates that lead down to some kind of collection area just beyond your sight.
I kind of want to check those out.
Definitely should check those out.
I think we should rescue our sister though.
Yes, but how? Maybe we should like pull a fire alarm or something.
And just set one of those wastebasket fire things.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Alex looks and sees if they have smoke alarms in 1920.
Well, they probably don't have smoke alarms,
Think about
so
that.
like, but we could say, "Oh my gosh, there's a fire!"
Yeah, you just yell fire. Apparently that worked.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, fun fact: the smoke detector was invented it was patented in 1902.
Nice. And I'm sure
This
you know.
very nice college probably has one.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Ivy League definitely.
Although the statistic above this is in 1915, people living in homes could expect if their home got fire, they have a 1 in 10 chance of dying in that fire.
Oh,
That's brutal. That's a 10% chance.
I was gonna say that's probably due to the firefighters systems and the actual alarm.
yeah.
Awesome. So now that we've got our history lesson out of the way, um, you guys could start a fire somewhere if you wanted to, or you could try to sneak out.
Yeah.
Well-
I think starting a fire sounds fun.
Yeah, and how would we access that without like going past the security guard? I'm sure there's a like map of this is the way you get out, but like
You could start a fire in a classroom and hope one of the other guards sees it.
no, that's not what I'm talking about. How do we get down to the collection place? The reason that we're starting the fire. Not just
Oh, so I'm not the reason you're starting the fire.
I mean you and shits and giggles, you know.
It's like a third each thing.
Yeah.
I think we should start the fire and we should just like run down there and just scream fire. And then when they run past us, we can go back.
You use crawdads for throwing stars.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, yeah. It turns out if you pull the the butt off and just chuck it down they all like that.
Sir, excuse me, there's a fire in one of the classrooms.
Oh, have you all been here this whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they heard everything about the crawdads as ninja stars. They
Yeah,
told
okay.
me.
Ninjas.
But the classroom is burning. Don't you want to like go alert somebody?
Please give me a deception check.
That's a 12.
You happy with the 12?
No, I am not. I
You
would
can use a
like to
hero
roll.
point to reroll.
Do I add anything to it?
So when you use a hero point to reroll, if you roll a 1 to 10, you get to add 10 to it. So you're guaranteed to do better unless you roll a 1 or 11.
Okay, that I got an 8, so that bumps it up to an 18.
18, perfect. So he looks at you for a second. He lets out this big old sniff. Yeah, I'm gonna go investigate that fire. Thank you, both of you, for being such a transfixed audience to my story. And Miss Rutsuko, if you don't mind, I would like to call upon you sometime.
Oh, okay.
I'm here every night.
Okay. Let me, well, you go take care of that fire, and I'll give you my number later.
Send a raven.
And he'll trundle off down the hallway.
Trundle. I love that word.
Please tell me that you found something.
I mean, yeah.
So did you have a love connection? Did you have a
Really?
good time?
She's
Really?
grumpy. You're going to ask
Really?
her that question?
Really?
It seemed like you were having a great time.
Oh yeah, totally. Can we with this? Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we found a baby in a jar, so I'm honestly not 100% sure which one you would rather have been doing, but we didn't really have a good time either.
Nope. Found
Can
out
we
that
leave now?
No, we gotta go to like 3 more rooms.
to 3 more rooms.
Wait, what?
Yeah, more like down in the boiler room under the basement to the collection room.
Oh God, he's gonna find me. Oh.
Alright.
Oh, I'm getting really angry here. Let's go right now before you really.
It's
Before
okay. You
Officer
know that I
Trundle
won't
comes
let
back.
anything happen to you.
You won't
Oh
let
no,
anything
it's not
happen to
me
her.
that I'm worried about. It's man and what I'm going to do to him.
Mm.
Swamp ninjas. Swamp.
I don't know. I like the sound of those crawdads.
Yeah. The Crawdad Ninja Stars? Like, that's really cool. What an invention.
Can we go now?
You don't get to come up with new stuff for your book universe every day, but
Okay, so
Okay.
so
Let's go.
what did you
I'm
guys?
just saying Jim Butcher doesn't have crawdad ninja stars in his book. Anyway.
You are blessed, Alex. You are blessed.
All right, so all right, check it
Down
out.
to the boiler room.
You guys are heading down
Under
to
the
boiler room.
basement and down a hall
So what have you? So he's got a baby and a
in a jar.
Mm-hmm.
like. Are we talking a pig fetus?
Nope.
No. Human
I
baby.
wish.
Isn't that?
Unethical? Weird? Yeah.
Elva also found like a really weird drawing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to make the perfect woman.
Oh,
I mean, we
that's
already
not
exist.
incriminating at all, dude. We may have just found our guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep going and
Of
we'll see if he's
course.
actually our guy, if he's just a creep.
Yay, adventure over. Just kidding.
Murder solved.
At the very least, he's connected to it.
Yep,
Yes.
definitely. Or
Oh,
the
and 2 more
inspiration
students of his are on the list of people that were killed. So
Oh,
4
which
of them
ones?
total. Josephine Olsen and Viola Gibson.
Okay. Well, that makes things interesting.
Yeah. So I honestly don't know how much I want to run into this man.
Yes, I agree.
Not because I'm afraid of him, but because I feel like I want to hurt him.
Well, innocent
Unprepared.
until proven guilty,
Mm,
but we do have quite a bit of incriminating evidence.
Circumstantial request. Awesome. So you guys go into the boiler room. You're looking for some means of getting down into that grate that runs underneath the operating theater. Go ahead, all of you guys, and give me perception checks.
oh no. I got an 11.
I rolled a 20.
As did I.
Awesome. So Ritsuko and Yuva, with your 20, you guys are sort of looking around. You're easily able to sort of beeline, following the map and sort of following what you guys know about subterranean structures. You're making your way. You do find a doorway that seems to lead. It's marked sewer access. And sure enough, you open the big heavy metal door on that. It opens up, and you do see. It looks like all of the operating theaters in this hospital empty out into the sewer drain down here.
Oh, I wore the wrong shoes.
Looking down, and one of the first odd things you notice is that the sewer line seems to have these lanterns spread out every 100 yards or so. It looks like they're affixed to the wall, sort of bullseye lanterns that are just hanging there. They only go down off to the east. They don't go to the west.
I'm following those.
Oh, my socks are wet.
I will replace your socks.
And my Zori are completely ruined.
Well,
You will be okay.
You can go barefoot if you're feeling brave.
said the
Yeah.
ominous voice in the.
In the hallway. Jesus has spoken.
Jesus is at Club right now, hanging out with everybody.
That Jesus, he's always hanging out. That's sort of what he's known for.
Shut up. No.
Hey, he's providing the wine, okay? He's the bartender tonight.
I gotta go. Signing off.
Watch out for lightning bolts. Okay. So yeah, Ritsuko, you could take off your shoes if you wanted to. I will just say that the floor, the only word I would use to describe it is slick.
Yeah, no, she's not taking
Ugh.
off her shoes. She just knows that it's messed up. And her socks are getting splooshy.
Sploosh.
Or tabby socks, I guess you would say.
Blech.
So which way do you guys want to go?
Well, I
Well-
think Liz said that she was following the
The
lantern.
lantern.
Yeah, the lantern.
Want to follow the lights?
Go into the light.
Said the ominous voice again.
Unconventional.
There it is. Okay, so you guys go sneaking down the sewer pipe. As you're making your way, you do pass
Downtown.
these lanterns. You do notice that the lanterns seem to forge a path that heads snakes out of this sewer area that's directly underneath the university and into the main sewer line of Titan City. As you're sort of sneaking along, making your way, you do come. There's several intersections, but the lanterns only go one direction in the intersection.
Hmm.
And it looks like they snake just around. Go ahead and give me perception checks, guys. Guys, what do you want?
12.
I rolled a 21.
Oh my gosh.
18.
Awesome. Ritsuko, with your 21, you hear whistling coming in the direction you guys are going.
Like getting closer?
Sounds like it is getting closer.
Shh. Sisters, do you hear that? It's whistling. And I think it's coming this way.
Like a person whistling, or
Or like a train. Like, what kind of whistling are we talking about here?
like
Thank you,
her face.
Adolfo desu ka?
Oh my lord.
I rolled a 12, bruh. I don't know.
Well, Ritsuko, I can confirm it doesn't sound like a train.
That's
It
all
could
you
be
had
a
to
really
say.
small train.
No, I think it's a person. Should we duck?
That's boring.
So how far away are we from the diverted hallway?
It looks like you guys are probably about 20, 30 yards away from that diverted hallway.
Can we make it?
Oh yeah, you guys can definitely make it there before anybody else could.
Okay, well basically
yeah.
I think the idea is we're gonna kind of hide over in the diverted hallway in the darkness,
Yes.
stealthy and stuff, and hopefully maybe see somebody come out.
Don't we need
Yeah.
to roll stealth checks?
Yeah. Thing.
Sure do need to roll stealth checks.
And hope
Oh,
that
no.
Amelia is more stealthy than she is.
I got a 24.
Woo!
Briscoe rolled a 10.
Do it again, or I'm picking you up.
All right.
I got a 17.
Is everybody happy with their stealth check? Does anybody want to use a hero point?
I would like to use a hero point, but I'm unable to drag a hit my. Where do I drag it?
Just on the table, anywhere.
Well, it's not letting me grab it.
It's done.
Yeah,
Okay,
mine
that's
didn't either before.
That's dumb.
So.
All right. Well, I will steal them from you guys. Haha.
Okay. Yeah, you can just.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay. I will re-roll now. That is a 17.
17. That's better than a 10. That's what Evil got.
No, I got a 17.
Yeah, and Ritsuko got a
Yeah,
17.
I rolled a 7, but it's a plus 10.
Oh,
So
I thought
because I used a hero
honestly-
point, so I get a plus 10.
I think she
thought it-
thought he was saying she got a 10.
Yeah,
Oh.
My bad.
yeah, that's the way you phrased it.
Phrasing.
Are we not doing phrasing?
So, you guys take up stealthy positions on either side of the sewer tunnel. And the whistling gets closer. It sounds like somebody whistling. It's a familiar tune to you. You guys have heard it. You're not sure where, but it is definitely familiar, especially you, Ritsuko. It seems to be, I don't know, something deep in your memory is activated.
I have an eidetic memory, if that helps.
That does help. So it is definitely known to you. This tune that is being whistled to you is a song that your mother sang to you when you were a small girl.
Ritsuko freezes, and she's right next to Yulva, and she grabs onto her wrist and like squeezes really hard. And if Yulva looks at her and can even see, her face has like gone like she's seen a ghost, and she's pale.
Awesome. So the whistling gets closer and closer as you start to hear the footsteps sort of squeezing in the muck and the mire down here. And around the corner comes a sort of an older gentleman, sort of long white hair, very big Martin Van Buren side chops, dressed in a white dress shirt and a brown leather apron. with the sleeves rolled up, and he's got two brown leather gloves with him. You see he's pushing a wheelbarrow in front of him that has a shovel and a pickaxe nestled into it. And there seems to be a burlap sack of some kind inside that wheelbarrow.
What kind of shoes is he wearing?
He is wearing brown leather dress shoes. He's just whistling, minding his own business, going down the hallway in the direction that you guys came from.
So, like, do you want me to tackle him? What's the plan?
I know that song. It's a used to sing.
Who?
My mother. How would he know?
Ow. You can let go of me now.
Sorry.
I'm sure that other people have maybe heard the song before. It's not directly connected to your mother. I'm sure. Maybe.
But it's a Japanese song.
Maybe he's been to Japan. I don't know.
What do you want to do?
Well, there's a sack. Was the sack moving at all?
It is not moving at all.
How big is it though?
It's decently sized. I mean, it's sort of got this big top that's sort of rounded off, and then there's a divot in the side, and it's sort of tucked in to the wheelbarrow. You guess, looking at the weight of it, it's probably 110 pound sack.
So like a body size?
You could probably fold somebody up and put them in there.
We can't let him go.
So, do you want me to like hit him with my shield? Like what?
Can you stealthily sneak up on him and knock him out?
Stealth again.
I mean, I rolled a 24. I'm pretty.
Just not perceptive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Today.
He's not a train. I noticed that.
Well, I mean,
some aspects
big.
of him are very train-like.
Yeah. So like, what do y'all want me to do? Because I'll straight take him out. Wait, you have a bow and arrow. Shoot him in the leg.
Okay.
Rude as hell.
I mean, we don't want him running.
Yeah.
It
you shoot him in the leg, he goes down, but he doesn't die.
Oh God.
I used to be a serial killer, and then I took an arrow to the knee.
Okay, but like, guys, so I have the nicest ones are knife, standard arrows, and grab. But then I have agonizing shots, tendon shot, and eye shot.
Oh, let's do the tendon.
Not eye shot, but yeah, tendon might work.
Okay.
Go for that one.
Oh my God. 30.
He loses his whole leg.
Stealth modifier times 10. I'm not even gonna roll a save for him.
It's those crawdad bars.
So Ilva, you shoot him with a 30. What happens?
Oh my God. It just blows his kneecap right off. Like,
Ew.
There's nothing like keeping his lower leg to the upper leg. Like, he can't run now.
Watch it be like potatoes.
Oh my God.
Well, now we have to kill him.
Those poor potatoes.
Where are you going with those sketchy potatoes? So yeah, he cries out in agony. He stops whistling, and he falls to the ground into the sludge and the sluck just on the walkway down here. And he is screaming bloody murder. What the fuck? Who shoots somebody with a bow and arrow?
I'm gonna go look in the bag.
I will step out our hidey spot, Yulva, and take a stance, a fighting stance.
We should probably ask him
Should
what
probably ask
tune
him a
he
couple
was.
questions before he bleeds out.
Yeah, like the tune he was whistling, and
Well, that's the first thing Ritzko will do. How did you hear about that song?
A student taught it to me.
That's not good.
And Amelia, you go and you look in the bag, and there is a cadaver in here.
Like freshly dead or like
No, it looks like pretty
mostly dead.
not quite old, but definitely there's some decay, there's some decomposition. Looks like, well, if you make a treatment check, I'll tell you how old you think this body is.
25.
Well, the 25, you're reasonably sure that this body's been in the ground for maybe 2-3 months.
It's fine. He's grave robbing. It's fine that we shot his leg out.
Is the cadaver male or female?
This one is female.
What are you doing with this body?
More importantly, who's the student?
Yeah, that too.
He is very surprised by your fixation on that over the dead body in the wheelbarrow. I'm taking it back for my research.
Back.
It was donated to me.
The tune?
Oh, the body. One of my teaching assistants, Ryu knows that song. Sings it all the time. Daphne, old boy.
What?
Yeah, I have a student named Ryu who sings it all the time.
What's his surname?
I need medical attention.
I'm sorry, sir. Who are you?
You shot me in the leg and you didn't even know who I was.
He's
Well-
Dr. Hastings.
That's right, I'm Dr. Richard Hastings.
Shouldn't you be able to fix your leg yourself?
Oh. I could probably set it, but I need somebody to help me get the arrow out so I don't suffer permanent damage.
Oh no, the arrow is not in there. There's nothing in your leg.
I am in shock.
I blame Amelia.
I need help. I'm bleeding pretty profusely.
Ritzko is going to tear off a part of her yukata, like down at the hem, and basically create a tourniquet above his knee.
Give me a treatment check.
I can do that. I rolled an 18.
Awesome. You're probably not going to be able to prevent him from losing a leg, but you don't think he's going to bleed to death.
Maybe he can put his leg on his perfect woman.
Oh, no, my leg's not good for that.
So there's a drawing in your office that seems very interesting to me and my sisters because
You've been in my office?
yeah.
Who are you, crazy witches?
If we
Wouldn't
were
know.
witches, we would have done more to your leg.
Shoot him again.
No, I need him to answer a couple of questions, like what in the world happened to Kathleen? And second, who donates their body after they're dead?
And buried.
Who gave you permission?
I have a contact at the university who gave me permission to acquire this body.
Who?
The Dean of Science.
Oh my god.
Roll an insight check.
All of us?
Yeah.
The woman in me is going, oh my god, just answer the question.
17 for me.
15.
He is a liar.
Really?
I would
You
have
think?
never guessed.
Ritzko kneels down in the muck, doesn't care about what else is down there,
Gray water.
grabs him by the lapel slash brown
His apron
apron
straps.
thing. Yeah. You're going to tell us exactly what we want to know right now because I haven't had any sleep. My tabi socks, my shoes, and my yukata are ruined, and I'm having a really bad brought back some really crappy memories, okay?
Roll an intimidation check with a +2 bonus.
That is an 18 on the dice.
So 20 with the +2.
Yes.
He looks at you, and you see the color just drains out of his cheeks. Fine. I'll tell you what you want to know. Just don't hurt me anymore.
Ryu, what's the surname?
I believe it's Ryusuke.
Ryunosuke?
Ryunosuke, that's it.
That's his first name.
Insert appropriate surname.
It was Nakamura was his. Well, that depends.
What's Ritsuko's last name? Because that's his new last name.
Ishikawa.
That is the surname he gives you, is Ichikawa.
She lets him go.
You're very caught up on the whistling thing. If I tell you more about the whistling thing, can we be cool about the grave robbing thing?
No.
What more do you know about the whistling thing?
Just that Ryu is a bright student. He's been in town for quite some time.
The color drains from her face. That's not possible. What? Why? Are you sure it was Ishikawa? Not Nakamura?
No, it's the first one you said.
Not. No. Questions. I can't right now.
Okay. I put like a hand on her back, like a comforting hand. And then I look at him and I'm like, all right, bitch. You're going to tell me everything about this grave robbing crap that you have going on, or I'm going to break your other leg.
No, that's not necessary. I may have stolen a dead body, but it's not like she's using it.
Okay, but whom did you steal?
I believe the name on the sepulchral was Annabelle something? Annabelle Williams?
You don't even know who you stole?
Look, the tombstones are hard to read at night when you wear glasses.
I wear glasses and I can see just fine.
Annabelle Fisher, that's her name.
Hey, why have 4 of your students been murdered?
Has it really been that many?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute. Who's the fourth one?
Kathleen?
Kathleen's been murdered.
As of 4 hours ago.
Yes.
That's dreadful.
Just dreadful. Yes.
Well, I'm sure there are other adjectives, but I've lost them in the blood loss.
I'm sure you've had other blood loss experiences that don't. Never mind.
Look, Kathleen is my brightest student. She's She was the one I was preparing to take on my work when I was retiring.
Oh, not Anita, Josephine, or Viola?
They were fine, I suppose, but they lacked the natural instinct to do what needs to be done.
And that's why you killed them.
I didn't kill anyone. I'm a grave robber, not a murderer.
Perhaps you needed fresher bodies.
Don't be preposterous. The fresh ones are all alive-ish still. All the fluids haven't settled, and the humors are
Oh,
bad.
stop. Just stop.
Can I do an insight check just to make sure that he's telling the truth?
Yeah, sure.
I rolled a 33.
Oh, okay. You are reasonably sure that he is disgusted by the notion that you would expect him to use fresh bodies.
I believe him.
Very well.
Okay. One more question. What were you doing before you came to Titan City?
Was a respected scientist in London.
Did you get caught grave robbing there? Is that why you came here?
Caught is such a strong word.
So you did?
Some suspicions were cast upon me, and it was suggested that I take a sabbatical in America. Nothing but slander.
Yes, because this proves that that was nothing but slander. And I gestured to the body in the wheelbarrow.
Annabelle would have wanted this.
She didn't really have a choice, did she?
I imagine if she was still here and I had asked her, she would have said yes.
Yeah, I don't imagine that.
You're going to turn yourself in.
Why would I do such a thing?
In fact, you're going to go to a Detective Roy and you're going to turn yourself in. And you're going to tell them exactly what you told us, because it's going to clear you from murder charges and because you value your other knee.
He looks at his other leg and he looks at the wheelbarrow and he looks at all of you and he says, well, that is a persuasive argument, I suppose. Shall I walk there, or could I perhaps get a ride?
I can take you in this wheelbarrow if you want.
I suppose that would be all right.
But you have to ride in there with the dead person that you stole.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Naturally.
As long as you're good with that.
Creepy crawlers.
There's so many things wrong with that.
So I guess we lift him up in there.
Yeah, you lift him up in there, you put him up, he lays down. He's very ginger with that other leg, but he does sort of turn into the dead body and holds on to it as a comfort.
Okay. That's weird. I guess, do we take this to the police station? What do we do from this point on?
Let them handle it.
Do we
Yeah.
take him to the guard?
I don't
No,
care.
not the guard. Not the guard.
Never the guard.
I don't care what you guys
I
do.
bet the university is burnt down above us right now.
I forgot about that.
And man, I'll tell you guys, those fires are real quick. You have to get on them real fast, but they leap away from you. That jumping fire, it's something you gotta worry about.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
let's roll them out. Autobots.
So you guys pick up the wheelbarrow. After a few minutes, he is sound asleep, snoring against the body.
I'm gonna wake him up.
Oh.
I'm gonna wake him up by hitting his bad knee.
Oh.
cuz.
You are a hateful woman. You know that.
Hmm. Mhm.
You don't even know the half of it.
You shot me.
I wasn't talking about me.
Ritzko is very quiet.
So we're taking him to the detective and then dropping him off.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know where the detective would be because I'm pretty sure it's like 4 a.m.
I mean,
You think
we
he's
can
still at
drop him
work?
off. No, but we can drop him off at like the and
Yeah, because most likely they'll
at the
take
drunk
care of,
tank.
whatever injury he has. And
Yeah. They'll send the medic.
You mean whatever injury I have? You know what injury I have. You inflicted it upon me.
According
I
to
didn't.
whom? A drunk man?
You didn't see anything.
You've got a bow and arrow on your back.
Where?
But where's the arrow? What makes you think that you were shot with an arrow?
Look,
I don't see an arrow.
this feels like bullying.
You mean gaslighting? Oh, sorry, people. Trigger warning for all of these episodes.
I forgot that Yilva's bow collapses, so it's not even like visible on her person.
Yep.
I could swear I got shot with a bow and arrow.
We don't
Maybe it
even
was a
have bow
gun.
and arrows. Who carries a bow and arrow nowadays? Crazy.
You should have let him stay asleep.
No, this is fun.
For you.
One is subjective.
You can take a
Again.
nap in the car, Ritzko.
I can't sleep now.
We will have tea and we will talk.
Awesome. So you guys go on your merry way off to the 5th precinct, which is where Boston Roy is stationed. That's the police station for the TCPD that is located within Bayside. So sort of Boston's stomping grounds. You do notice it is a very small police station. It looks like they don't get a lot of incidents on this side of town. And you sort of bring the wheelbarrow full of the grave robber up. What are you guys doing with the body?
It's staying with him.
Evidence.
He's going to basically confess to his crime.
So that they can rebury her and put her back where she belongs.
Wait a minute, you shot yourself in the leg after you stole this body and you brought it here?
It's weird. We just found him like this.
He was saying something about Detective Wolf.
Yeah.
Detective Wolf.
The
Oh.
night officer at the nighttime officer of the precinct sort of looks up as you guys come in with the wheelbarrow. And he kind of peers over the desk and he shakes his head and gets up with a clipboard and comes around to you guys. What seems to be the problem, ladies?
Oh, so before we get there, can I have like, I don't know, splashed him with like a whole bunch of alcohol?
For a hero point, you can.
Cool. Go ahead. Makes our story believable.
I'm pretty sure they don't have the ability to test if he's drunk or not. So,
Other than smelling it.
yeah, so sounds good to me.
Breathalyzer 0.5. This is get down in front of a drunk guy and sniff.
Yup.
So the officer gets down. Oh, he smells like a still.
Yes, we were having a nightly walk and we found this drunkard rambling on about dead bodies.
He was pushing this wheelbarrow that happened to have a dead body in it.
Oh, oh, looks open and shut to me. Well, I'll take him from here, ladies, I guess. You you all have a nice night. Looks around.
Thanks.
Mitsuko is covered in filth. Her yukata is ripped. Does it look like I'm having a nice night?
No, ma'am.
I'm gonna like turn her around and like have my arm over her shoulder and just like lead her out.
The phone rings behind the officer as you guys are walking away, and he picks it up
Oh no.
and he answers it, and he takes the receiver off of his ear and looks over at you guys. Are any of you Amelia?
Who was asking?
Mm-hmm.
Melora?
Oh, yep, that's me. And I just like walk over and grab the phone.
I didn't know this was a personal number that people can just get. He hands the phone over to you.
Thanks. What's up?
Melora answers. You do hear that her voice is a little shaky, a little panicked. She says, "Are you guys still on the north side of town?"
Is that where we are?
That is where you are.
Yes, we are on the north side of town.
We have an all hands on deck sort of situation. We're going to need you guys to drop what you're doing and respond.
Okay, well, we actually just finished, so are we coming back to the house?
No. Head to Covenswell, the neighborhood just northwest of Bayside. Our friend at Club Tartarus, Minerva, she just let us know there's a vampire blood running happening tonight.
Okay, we will be there shortly.
Save a couple vampires for me.
Okay. I'll hang up and tell them. Well, I'm going to be like, let's go outside away from the police officer, man. And then I'm going to tell them.
Away from the police officer, man.
Let's just shock everybody tonight.
Vampires, we got to go.
Really?
Like, what?
I just wanted to take a nap.
You
And
can
what
take a
do I
nap on the
get?
way there.
Oh, that's not happening. Oh, no. See, you don't understand. There I was having a relatively normal night, and then I find out that the love of my life is alive.
That does sound pretty rough, actually.
That's heavy.
Wait, you didn't know he was alive?
No, I didn't. And what's worse is he's been working for my father. My father, God knows what he's done to him.
Okay. Well, after we deal with this vampire thing, we can go find him if you want. We won't even shoot him with an arrow or anything.
I don't even know if it's a good idea. What kind of man has he become? I don't even know. He's...
One
I
thing
just
at a
sort of
time.
like rubber back because like I don't know what to do. I'm not good. It's
Fine, let's go.
One mystery at a time.
on to the vampires.
Awesome. So you guys turn in the grave robbing drunk man that you present to the police, and you guys head on off to Covenswell. As you guys are making your way up there, you do hear sort of the sound of screams and the roar of fires coming from the neighborhood beyond. And as you guys start making your way through the streets, you do see people running the opposite direction from you.
Well, this sounds like a party.
Kind of.
I'm being sarcastic.
Let's just break some heads.
And as you guys move to investigate the blood run, I think that's a good spot to call this week's episode. It's a couple minutes early, but I've had a great time, and it's going to take me a little bit of getting used to having 3 players instead of 6 compared to the last one I ran. But yes, our heroes have found a grave robbing galvanist. They have a husband on the loose somewhere who reported the call in. There's a couple of suspicions being cast on poor Detective Wolf already. It's all kinds of great things going on. So I am very excited to continue this story next week. Thank you, cast, for joining me in this
Yes.
endeavor. I really appreciate having you guys here.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
Thank you, everybody who has tuned in and stuck it out with us this evening. We're really grateful to see all of you out there. Um, his name's not really Detective Wolf, that's his nickname. It's a long nose. Get out of here, Andy. um,
He brings the howl.
um, so, again, once again, everybody be on the lookout this Saturday for Yukon registration. You can see our events that we're running over on the USP Discord. Please feel free to sign up for any of the games on there. You know, we'd love to see some community members come out and hang out with us. I'm running Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, Fallout, and a couple of Titan City scenarios. So feel free to come out and hang out with us. Liz is running Witch Punks, which is a whole lot of fun. We've got Warehouse 13. We've got Savage Worlds, East Texas University. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Please stick around for the raid, everybody. And we will be back here. Oh, Angela is running Tales from the Loop also, which is so much fun. But yeah, we'll be here back, same back time, same back channel next week as we investigate what's going on with these werewolves and see if we can't, or vampires, not werewolves, and see if we can't track down the butcher of Bayside.
Werewolves are Monday.
Werewolf is on Monday. Yeah, sorry. Tune in on Mondays for our Born of Rage live stream, which is our Werewolf the Apocalypse game, and tune in on to our podcast on Fridays, Something Something Dragons, where our good friend Aaron leads his daughter and her friends to their first ever Pathfinder adventure. It's a whole lot of fun. So, thank you for hanging out with us at the Untold Stories Project. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Bye.